All right, so with this being somewhat of a private key, and in the process of doing that, and I think that these are special things that are relevant to a number of different things, because as you connect over a VPN, you're connecting into something, into somewhere, and that somewhere is a great special place from my perspective of consciousness. So there's a number of different things, that I feel that makes this a relevance to be a certificate. And again, perceptive understanding of something is what defines the reality. Observation and perceptive understanding, the general perception of things, right? So to me, um, the understanding that is given forth here is the following, right? During that time of that certification process, I would run, I would exercise. I've done a number of different things, and the reason why I stopped that is beyond the scope of this video. However, you can always look at the iguana thing to get a better understanding of that. So anyway, we have this, which is so I would run in a follow the sun model. So this is a shamash tablet, a sun god tablet, and in that manner, the way that I would run in the park would be in the morning I would run um, to the left, and in the evening I'll run to the right. So this would signal the rising and the setting of the sun. And during the day I'll do my work, or whatever it is that I had to do at that particular time. And so this is what that Shamesh aspect, the sun god aspect, is representative of. And I can't explain why as to why that would relate to all the way back to the time when this was created or utilized. And as you can see here, we have 3 people here. So I'd smoke weed most of the time. And so what you see here is that we have 3 people here, which are the 3 people that I would generally tend to buy weed from. But that's just expressive of consciousness, in that that's what these entities or the or what was left behind in that particular conscious aspect of it. So we have these 3 people that I tend to buy weed from, and these were local on food people, in general. And here we have a sun tablet, a Babylon sun tablet, but to me I see this as a wheel, as a steering wheel. And then we had one other guy who I would buy weed from, who was not on foot. So sometimes I meet these guys on foot, and sometimes I'll go to them, whatever the case may be. They were basically on foot. It was their local people, right? So these are local people, 3 people that I'll buy weed from. And here we have one guy up here who's not local, and he's not on foot, and he would drive and drop me the weed when I needed it. So this is what this structure represents: a wheel or a steering wheel, or whatever the case you'd wanna see it as there. And then here you have me sitting by the computer desk here with these 2 things here, representative of whatever you want to represent it as. And this is me sitting by the computer. And the reason why the length of the legs here, why my legs are extended there, is because that I tend to be much older than these guys here who would be selling me the weed, right? And that's sort of the basis behind that. And here in my hand here, you see that I'm holding the circular structure, which is the orientation of the way in which I would run around the park, right? So I have the watch here, which is also representative of me holding that reference of the park and the way in which I would run. And you see here that this rod that this guy is holding here, which is the rod of which to measure time and things of that nature, it's a circular structure with 2 endpoints of left and right, which define basically my access and entrance point into the park. And you can see the structure here being the enclosure in which I currently inhabit, as in the house that I'm currently in. So that's basically that in its essence. And then as you can see here, if you just get a closer look there, we see there that we have the here, you have 2 suns which are reflective of each other, and then one which is odd, right? But it's like a crescent sort of moon, sort of one less than the other. So this here is representative of the tarot cards that I tend to reference quite a lot. So I reference 011 or 012. And as you can see here, that these shapes here are also shown here as these four things here. These 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 that become 3, one half crescent, one less than the other. So this would be the magician and the fool, right? So that's why this here is like a crescent moon, the magician and the fool, and it's representative of 2 of these things here. And then the other 2 are actually a representation of the high priestess. So this is the feminine card, which is part of my motivation. Love was one of the key things that drove or drives me, right, in essence. So that's that in regards to that. And so that's fundamentally what that is in essence. And so you can basically see that there. So this is what in essence is representative of what my current understanding. In itself, it's a rather bizarre structure, and it's not like anything of me like being like oh my god, my ego is so big. It's not that. It's actually just like a representative of like what my perception sees and how we shift through time based on perception and understanding, or shift through realities based on those particular modalities. I'm really grateful for these people here, and then did this enclosure with the 2 references there, along with the park reference here that I hold in my hand, because I hold that daily in the way that I run and all that things. And then we have also the 4 here, which represent which are also 3, but 4 in that this present here is a division of representing 2 cards in essence. And these 2 cards here actually representing, and these other 2 here actually representing one thing, which all of them are basically equate to 4. And so that's what that is, and that's what this private key was able to generate for me. And with this one here, I'm not able to get rid of it. I can't burn it, I can't break it, and these cuneiform of writings of what people wrote, of which I can go to interpret and get a deeper understanding. And it's all about my ego and the things that occurred to me throughout that time. That those reference points, those important fundamental things in the overall schematics of things.